mentees, I'm the Astonishing Melanie, and today I'm going to review this hidden gem, Batman and Robin, Black Knight vs. White Knight, so please stay tuned. This standard hardcover collects issues 17 through 25, and it's a hidden gem. You definitely want to go pick this up because you can't find it in Morrison's Omnibus, you can't find it in Tomasi's Batman and Robin Omnibus, and I mean, I assume you're a collector, you want to pick it up? Just a little bit of a spoiler, otherwise I can't talk about the book. This takes place during Dick Grayson's run as Batman. Batman dying, comes back to life, he makes Batman Incorporated, and Dick Grayson's in Gotham City along with Damian as Robin. We got lots of talented people working on these 3 stories that are collected here. We've got Paul Cornell, who worked on Doctor Who, a couple of episodes of Doctor Who. We've got Peter Tomasi, Judd Winnick. We also have art by Scott McDaniel, Patrick Gleason, Gillian March, and Greg Tanachi. This takes place after Batman died. He came back to life. He's making Batman Incorporated. Dick Grayson is the Batman throughout this book of Gotham, along with Damian as Robin. So in the first story, some of her parts, I really enjoyed the teamwork because Alfred gets in the mix of solving this really cool mystery, and I enjoyed the big brother little brother relationship between Dick and Damian. Dick's a really fun character. He's like, you know, not as serious Batman having fun crashing a wedding at the very beginning of issue 17. So who's the villain? Uma Nemo, a former girlfriend of Bruce's, who has this giant hole in her head, and they give an explanation, but I just couldn't get over that. I understand that Batman villains are over the top and cartoonish in that way. I just couldn't get over that hole in her head. It looks cool. Anyway, then we come to the second story that starts off with a really cool couple of pages of Bruce wanting a family movie night with, you know, Tim and Damian and Dick and Alfred, and they watch Mask of Zorro, which of course is the movie that he last saw with his parents before they were murdered. And that's important later. That leads up to another story. Then it dives into Tree of Blood, which is creepy. Starts off with this angel man who commits suicide. He jumps off a building. He lands flat, splat in the pavement. There's like this gold coming out of him. He's got actual wings. Has a really cool, creepy aesthetic. So that first big panel reminded me of Icarus flying too close to the sun. It melts the wax on his wings and he falls back to Earth. Because like I said, there's an angel motif and there was like this gold running out of him. I thought maybe that's where it was going. The detectives, of course, get on the case and it looks like a suicide, but of course it's not. It's Batman. You gotta solve a mystery. And so enter the titular character, White Knight. And he is this man clad in all light with, you just see these really creepy eyes, and the story goes from there. In the last story, Streets Run Red, Jason Todd is looking good, let me tell you. Thank you, Gillian March. Mwah. You think of like Sawyer from Lost, oh my goodness. And Dick Grayson's looking good too. Like, I really like that issue. Jason Todd, who was Robin before he died, now he's Red Hood. He wants a transfer out of Arkham into a regular prison, saying, well, I'm not insane. Yeah, I'm murderous. I will kill villains, and I'm not going to stop, but I'm not insane. I don't belong here. Well, he gets his wish. He goes to regular prison, has a lot of fun killing people, acts, you know, really cool, and looks hot the whole time doing it. And, sorry to keep mentioning that. You can tell Dick's really worried about this situation because Jason's family, they've got a history and Damian doesn't. He's like, oh, who cares? Spoiler time, everybody knows it's spoiler time. Hey, guess what? It's spoiler time. Rewind. Back to the first story. Some of her parts, we find out that Uma Nemo, she can survive with a hole in her head because she has Dandy Walker syndrome. So you know, I looked that up. And it's really interesting. So the fourth ventricle in the brain is kind of like around the spine area is enlarged, and there is an complete absence or partial absence of the connecting tissue between the two hemispheres. So it gets blown out of her brain, but the computer says, you know, the gray matter, it takes care of conscious thought. And she's getting more oxygen to her brain, which that's a thing, you know. She's trying to get Bruce Wayne's attention because she says it's not necessarily for revenge, it's that she needs him to recognize her personhood, to have dignity, that she existed and mattered. Near the end of the story, she has the goofy villain setup of like 2 drills coming at Batman and Robin. And oh, you've got this plate to push against, but if you push back, the other one's gonna die because I have them set just right. That's only gonna drill a little bit into your head. So they're talking, and it's paper mache. But she's made her point. She commits suicide at the end. They don't find a body. I'm sure we'll see her again. In the second story, Tree of Blood, we find out the White Knight's motives are to kill all of the relatives of Arkham inmates so that they won't turn evil too, like it's in the blood or something. So it's kind of like their noble, holy sacrifices, hence the angel motif. When he comes into Arkham to kill the inmates themselves, you know, there's this cool side note of like, hey, I killed everybody except Joker. You didn't have anybody to kill. And he's like, yeah, I already cut those ties a long time ago. And he's laughing as you know, they're in the threat of dying from drowning in light or something. There's a showdown at the end, Dark Knight, White Knight, and there are, get this, Batman cowl ear missiles. That was really cool. White Knight's right here and he just shoots the cowl ear missiles into his head. Loved it. Streets Run Red. The Menagerie, this group of animal people, bust Jason Todd out of the transport to another, you know, regular prison. Of course, that not just for free, they want to take him to this lady who has kidnapped Sasha Scarlet, the Red Hood's psychic, and it never really explains why. That bothered me. Like, not even a hint that I could find. Maybe I missed it. But he teams up with Batman and Robin, who, remember at this point, you know, Dick and Damian, to save her. And then there's a fun scene where Jason Todd is making fun of the fresh, clean pine smell in the Batmobile, that Albert must clean it for them, and Bruce Wayne would never have that happen. It would affect his olfactory senses. I really enjoyed the character of Jason Todd. I really haven't read the Red Hood in comics, just watching the animated movies. And while the 3 of them are fighting off ninjas and trying to, you know, rescue Scarlet, Jason Todd is psychoanalyzing Dick, and a good 2 pages, and I love at the end, he just has this deadpan ending remark of, I hate him. Let's crack this book open and take a look at the artwork. So here we have the cover, obviously, and we see the creepy eyes of the White Knight behind. Love the cape flying back behind them. That's always fun, isn't it? So here's the part I was talking about where Dick as Batman is having fun and saying, stop the wedding! And that he's always wanted to crash a wedding. Very nice coloring. Oh, I love the commissioner's expression right there. So here we have Uma Nemo and the big hole in the head. Very nice dramatic cover. And here, maybe it's a variant, I don't know. This story has nothing to do with the Penguin. Here's where Bruce comes in. They watch Mark of Zorro. Alright, here's that panel I'm talking about. Very disturbing. Okay, now we come to Streets Run Red with Jason Todd. There's his mugshot. Okay, this is not what I'm talking about being hot. This is what I'm talking about being hot. Thank you. Right here. Ooh, yeah. Oh my gosh, one more. Okay, there. All the rest is spoilers. Okay, so in the back we have an ad. All of the covers and variants were placed throughout. Kind of, I don't know, anticlimactic. I would have appreciated something else. I do like the red though. My overall score is a 7 out of 10. It was a fun read. I think my favorite story was the first one, Some of Her Parts, because I really enjoyed the mystery. Ooh, there were literary references sprinkled throughout. Really enjoyed that. Sometimes the art was a little bouncy. Can I describe art that way? Because of the 2 pencilers, I felt like, oh, here's a style for Uma Nemo, and then all of a sudden she has like a different body build. Second story, Tree of Blood, was creepy, but sometimes it was difficult for me to follow the artwork in terms of the actions and the fighting and what's going on with the White Knight, with his powers. And I think Streets Run Red was the most fun. Yeah, he's a real hottie. So I do recommend picking this up, especially with the fact that you can't find these issues in an omnibus. Thank you so much to our Patreon supporters. We're over 100 now, and that's really great. Thank you so much for helping us, this channel grow. We've got products on Redbubble. Please hit that like and subscribe, and thank you for watching. Stay minty!